Hi guys, another crash course is here. Welcome to unit testing in React. So in this crash course, we will learn three things. So first one will be we'll learn how to use Jest in React. Secondly, we'll learn how to use React testing library with Jest. And last but not least, we'll learn how to use the snapshot. So basically it's the snapshot testing, and I will also compare between the two as well, the differences between unit testing and the snapshot testing, and which one should we try, and we will find out in this crash course. Without further ado, let's now get started. Okay guys, so here you can see this is the new React application that I just installed. So this is what it looked like, and we just take a look at the folder that comes with the fresh installation as well. So you can see that it has got the app.test.js. So basically this file is the test file that we will also need to create. And now let's just take a look what is it about. So you can see it has got the test, which the description here, and it tried to render the app component, which is here, and also get by text, which is learn React, and expect the link here to be included in the document. So currently you might not understand what it's all about, but I will try to explain you step by step, and we will get into all of this in detail. So first, let me try to remove the test file here. Just delete this one here. And I will also update the text inside, which is removing this part and just saying hi for now. And take a look again. So here you can see we have the text saying hi. Alright, so now we have this set up. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is to create a new folder. So we call this as component folder. So components, and inside the components I will create a new component called user.js. Let's just use capital letter, so users.js, like that. And I will create the functional component. So because right now I'm using this, let me show you the plugin. So basically this is the extension that I have already installed, which is the allow me to use the shortcut to create a functional component. So now to use that, I will use the shortcut, or the keyword is AFCE, right, and then press tab key, and here you can see it will create this automatically for me. Okay, so inside this users, I will just quickly again just use or saying hi, and instead of here I will let's just remove the logo as well. I will need to import that component right here. So import users from the component / users, right? And now let's just remove this text here, and I can directly use the user components. So quickly save that, and now take a look again, refresh. So here you can see that we still get the same text saying hi, but this time we import it from the user component. Okay, so now let's create a new folder under the component folders. So I will call this as test folder. So __ test __ okay, so this is the test folder. So whenever that we run the test, Jest will automatically pick up this folder and look for the file inside this folder. So for this test, I will just call users.test.js, like that. Now let's quickly create a simple test. So let's just use this test and give this a name. So I call this as test with the arrow function, and inside here we will need to use the function which is expect. So for now, let me just expect number 1 to be true free. whenever that the number is greater than 0, or I just add like a text or string, then this will pass the test. Okay, so now let's just try to run the test here. So because right now I'm running the React application, you can see instead of terminating this, I will need to create a new one. So for this, I will now run the application separately with this one, and this is the for the test, right? So I will need to run this command here, npm test. Okay, so you can now see that we passed the test, right? And now you can see that it is working fine. And next is basically I'm going to show you is the package.json, and we now need to use this library here, which is the React library. And to use this, I want to move this one here. Instead of putting in the dependencies, I want to move this library into the dev dependency. So currently you can see that we don't have the dependency down there. So let's just quickly copy this library name here, and coming back to this one, let's just terminate this for now. And to move that, I will need to use the command npm i-d, and then paste that library here, which is the testing library /react. So now let's just take a look here. It will then add it down here. Okay, so as you can see, it is now moved under the dev dependency, basically from here, right? And next, let me come to this one here, the users.test.js. So for this one here, I think we can just remove this one. Okay, so now we can import render screen cleanup from the testing library. So this will be testing library /react, and we also need to import the users from the user here. Okay, and now we can start writing the test. So I will say this should render users component, and inside here we will need to use that function right here, which is render the user component that we imported up here. So this will be user like that, and here I can start creating the user element. This is screen.get by test ID. So it has a few. For this one, I use the test ID. So let's just give this a name. Let's just use the user-1 as the ID. And down here, let's just start using the expect. So this will be user element dot to be in the document, which you also seen earlier as well with the function here. And now we already have that. So next, let me just try to inspect the user element to have text context. So what I'm doing now, I want to search for the text here, which is the text here saying hi. But instead of saying hi, I want to first now let's just say hello like that, and then see if we get that or not. And also when I try to run the test here, of course it will fail because we haven't provided the user test ID inside this element yet, right? So now let me just quickly save it and try to take a look here. And as you can see, the test failed because right here you can see that let me just scroll up a little bit, and you can see it say unable to find an element by this test ID, which is user-1. So what are we going to do? We just need to copy this one real quick, and then coming back to the user.js, and right here in the element here, the div element,
let's just paste it here and let's save that again and see if we see a different error message. So normally it won't take long because right now I'm recording the screen as well as trying to run this at the same time. So that's why it takes time to run this. And here you can see that it is get a different result or the outcome. You can see it say expected element to have the text context which says hello, but then it receive hi. So yep, that means it is working. We just need to change this text here from hello to hi. So let me just comment this one, copy that, paste it down here, and change this to hi. So when I save this, the test should now pass. Okay guys, so here you can see should render user component with this text saying hi, and yep, we now pass the test. So next I want to show you is to create a list of user. So inside the app.js and underneath here, let me try to create a list of users. So I call this as user with the array, and then inside here we have the objects. So first one is ID 1 with the name. Let's just call this as John, age 15, and let's create another one down here. So copy that, paste it here, and this one will be ID 2. Name, let's just call this as Kelly, and the age, let's just put this as 20. And now we have this list of object. So what I'm going to do next here, which is we can comment the user component now, and I want to loop through the list here. So this will be user.map, and we want to loop through each user. So users, and now we can start using the user component. So for this, I want to pass this data through prop right here. So this will be user equal to each user, right? So our prop here call user. And next, let me just quickly save that. And now let's just coming back to this users.js. We want to get the data through the prop. So this will be props like that. And right here we can start using the users. Users equal to the prop like that. And then down here we can try to display the list of username. So let me just do user.name and save that and see if it is working or not. Also, don't forget to restart the application. Okay guys, so here you can see we have this user name printed out on the screen, John and Kelly, using this one here. So this format, you can also try to cut it here and paste it here. Then you can basically use the same one as seen. But then I want to use this format, then it's also working fine. So what I want to do now is to basically checking against the age. So let me try to create the, let's just call this as legal, the legal age. This will check against the user age. If the user is equal to or greater than age 18, then I want to print out the h1 tag here. So inside this h1 tag, I will just need to print out the username. So this will be username. Otherwise, if the age is less than 18, then I want to also showing something. So this will be the h1 tag as well. Let's just do the user.name like that. Right. So very simple test here. So what I'm going to do here is to also change the color, because right now if I put it like that, it just show the user, but we can't really see the difference, right? So I want to add the style here. So this will be color, let's just set this to green. And then for this one here, let me set the color to red. save that quickly, and here you can see this is what we have. So this age here, it can be like a voting age or the age to get married, right? So instead of using the static data here, you can see user 1. I want to change this to the dynamic one. So this will be, change this one as well. And inside here, this will be the user.id, because we have defined the ID right here as well, right? So this will be the unique ID, and then the name here, let's just remove this, and this will become the legal. So right here, right? Let's just save that and take a look at the screen here, and here you can see, so John, which is only 15 years old, and that's why it's showing as red, and Kelly is over 18 years old, so she is in green color. Alright, so now let's just come to this test here. We can start writing more tests down here. So I can just comment this test out, and then we can start writing a new one. So this will be should render illegal user. Let me just call it like that, and then here this will be user. We want to check it whether this list is correct. So ID with the name, let's just call this as John. Age 15, the same one, right? So this will be render the user component. So this will be user, and I want to pass this user object here through the prop. So this will be user, and const, we can use the user element equal to screen.get by test ID. So here we can add the user ID, which is user -1, and down here we can start using the expect. So this will be expect the user element dot to be in the document, like that. And now we can start expecting the user element dot to have text context. So for this, I will just use this as John, right? And now let's just quickly save this. Take a look at the test here. Okay, so here you can see that we passed this test. We just check whether this John actually exists in the object here. So for this one here, instead of like checking a list of user in the app.js here, right? We just write it like this right here, and then we can just check it rightly. Or now if I were to change it to say, instead of John, let's just say James, then we get the failed test. And here you can see, let me just scroll up, the expected element to have the context, which is James, but then we receive the John. So this is the error that we get. Now we can start writing the second test. So it will be similar to this one. Let me copy that, paste it here. And this one, instead of render illegal, let's just change this to legal. And the user here, this should be the list here, right? Just copy that and paste it here. And this will be, change this to user 2. And then for the name, yeah, let's just do it for now with John. And we will see the failed test. Okay, so now you can see the receive Kelly, but then this is expected to have John, so we can change this to Kelly, and now we will get the successful test. Okay, so yep, let's just take a look here. Yep, and you can see currently we have 2 tests here, and sometime when we try to run all of the tests at the same time, right, we might get the issue which is it considered as running at the same time. So to avoid the issue of things like the failed test, then what we can do, we can start using this one here, the function that I just import, which is the clean up. And on top of each test, let's just start using the after each. So meaning that after each test, what we want to do is to clean up, right? Like that. All right, so the benefit of using the clean up here is that after running each test, then it will just do a cleanup, and the same for this one, right? So that is this benefit of using that. So next I want to show you, because right now you can see we haven't really checking against the age here yet. So now let's just do that here. So inside this test, I want to use another one, which is expect user element dot to contain HTML, right? So for this one here, what I want to contain, I want to contain the text which is green here. So I can just do it like that, right? So when I save it, the test passed because this is supposed to be the green one. But if I were to change this to, let's say, 15 years old, like that, and when I save it, right, we failed the test because with the age of 18, which is less than 18 years old, 15 years old here, supposed to have the red color, but instead we expect to have the green color. So that's why we see this error message, and you can also see it here as well. So expected green, but then we receive this one here which contain the red color. So to fix this, we can just quickly change this to red color, then it should work fine. Yep, you can now see that we passed this test. So let me change this back to the original value like that. So this is just one example of using the contain HTML tag, which is right here. It contains the green inside the color here, right, inside the H1. If you want to check against the other tag, you can also do that as well. Okay, now that we started to understand the use of the test, right? So we also look into how to use the default one, which is the Jest, and we also look at the testing library, which is coming from React. So all of the text here, these are from Jest, and the render here, whichever that you can see here, render, screen, and cleanup, these are all coming from the testing library, which is React. So we use this combined together with Jest, right, to create all of the tests as seen here. So next I want to show you another one, which is again, this one is coming from Jest website, which is for the React. So you can see that there's another one, which is this library here. It's called React Test Renderer. We can use this library to create like a snapshot. Instead of like writing or creating this unit testing test manually, right? We can start using this snapshot testing as well. So now let's just quickly install this one here. So you can see that it is very popular, more than 3 million download every week. And now let me try to let's just take a look at the command. So yep, let's just copy this command. So instead of installing it as dependency, I want to move this to dev dependency. So let me try to yep, right here. So npm I just add -d with the name here, and we install this as dev dependency. Okay, it is now installed, as you can see. And now let's just come to the user.test.js. Now we can create this snapshot. So to create that, I can use the test, and let's just call this as matches snapshot. So we try to explain you what snapshot is, but now let's just create this one first. Let's just use this as user equal to, yeah, let's just do the same one. User1 name John and age 15. Down here, this will store this in the tree. this will, now we can use the renderer function. Let me just import it up here. So this will be import the renderer from React test renderer. Save that, and then down here let's start using that renderer dot create, and here we need to give the user component, and with the prompt, and we want to convert this into JSON format. And now we have the tree, so we want to expect this tree, right, to match the snapshot. Okay, just like that, very simple. Let's just save it quickly, and we can start running the npm test, and you will notice that it will create a new folder. So now let's just wait for this. Okay, a new folder have been created. So inside this you can see that it create this snapshot. So here you can see that it contains this information, which is red, and with all of the name here, which is John, right? So now if I change the text here, the name, to something else, let's just say James, then when I try to run this test again, then you can see that it will try to compare this one here against the old one, the existing one here, and then we can see the result here. So instead of like running this manually, right, so it will just check against the previous one, and without actually we have to write everything. Okay, so here as you can see, we now have this one, right? So this is the snapshot name, and then down here you can see the previous one, which is John, but now we get James. So that means we failed the test here. Okay, so it's more similar to Git, right? So whenever we change, we push the code, then we can also see what have been changed, or what is the new one, right? So this is very useful when we say if we change the code here, and then we run the snapshot again and check it against the old one, then it see if we see something changed, then we know it right away. And now let me just change this back to say John. Then when I run the test again, this should now work fine. Alright, so here you can see we now pass this test. And say if I change something here, so instead of like red color, I want to change this to say like black, and when I run this test again, we expect the test to fail using the snapshot. Okay, so here again, let's just take a look. The color previously was red, but now it changed this to black. So what happened if I want to pass this test? So you can see that we can inspect the code change, or press this U to update them. Instead of using like red, we want to now accept using the black color. So just press U on the keyboard, and you can see this snapshot now has been updated. Let's take a look at this here, and you can see the color now changed to the black one. So yep guys, you can see that we in this crash course we look into two different ways. So one is the unit testing, and the other one here is using the snapshot. So for snapshot, we don't need to manually write the test, as you can see up here, right? And yep, that's pretty much it for this crash course. If you have a question, let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe to the channel to see more videos just like this one. Until then, see you guys in the next video.